never said I was ugly. She's never been ugly, but I was big. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Brandie Channail coming to you with another video, and this one is long awaited, and I'm super excited to celebrate with you and share with you all. But this is the long awaited video all about my weight loss. I don't want to make this too long of a video because I do want follow-up videos to come if you guys have questions and things like that. But I did want to address the elephant in the room that everyone has been asking about. So that is what we're going to use this video to do. I had to get dressed up, y'all, because it is a celebrate. I feel amazing. I feel like I look amazing. And it has definitely been a journey for me. And so I'm excited to share with you all what's been going on with me and what I have been doing for the last year. So today is actually my 1-year anniversary. December 15th of 2020, I had gastric bypass surgery, and it was the best decision I've ever made. I don't regret it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I don't know, you know, a lot of people say I would have done it before now and all of that. I don't necessarily know if that's the case for me because everything happens in its own time, and how mine happened was so divine. And if you guys ever want to know that story, just let me know. But it was definitely a God thing. And so I knew that it was what he had for me. I didn't share with people because I have long been talking about losing weight. My goal was to lose 100 pounds. Just because I've been overweight my entire life. I've always been active. I played sports. I played volleyball all through high school, all through middle school. I was very active, but I've always been big. I've always been heavier. I have a very muscular figure, like I'm solid, but I've always been big, even when I was little. Of course, I'll insert pictures of everything so that you guys can see. But it's just always been something that I have struggled with. Even when I go to exercise and I'm eating all the right things, I could lose 20 or 30 pounds and do really, really well. But that was like the max. Like I could never break that, you know, threshold. And I've been a size 18 basically my entire life. Like not my entire life, but my entire adult life for sure. And then in high school, maybe the smallest I ever was a size 14. So I've been big my whole life. It's all I've ever known. And so you know, I had gotten used to it. I was very comfortable. My dad always made me feel confident. I always thought I was beautiful. I didn't suffer from all of those major insecurities and all of that. This was not a vanity thing. This was I started to notice that I was slow. I couldn't keep up with my kids. I couldn't keep up with my husband in more ways than one. And it just got to a point where I was like, enough is enough. Now, I had brought it up to my husband several times over the years that we've been married, and his answer was always no. Like, no, no, no. And I know a lot of people will say, like, how can he tell you what to do with your body? But that is my husband, and it was out of concern for me. It was because he didn't know enough about it. He just knew it was a major procedure, and he was not here for it. But something clicked in him, and he saw like my personal frustrations with me working out, us training together, us eating right together, and nothing happening. And he was finally like, and the fact that I kept bringing it up, he was like, you know, I know now that this is something that is important to you and that you really, really want because you keep bringing it up. And I see your struggle. Like, I see you trying, I see you doing all the things, and it's just not working. And so he actually gave me his blessing. We researched it together, and after he knew more about it, he was more comfortable with it. He was like, let's do it, you know. And for me, that was really, really important because, you know, of course it's my body. I can do what I want. He's my husband though, and I never want to do anything that makes him uncomfortable or that makes him worry or that causes stress on him. And so it was important for me to have him buy into it, you know. And not to get like super personal, but what spearheaded, like what was my final like dagger, what was like, okay, I have to do this. In 2019, my biological mother, and I say biological because anybody who knows me personally or anyone who knows me even a little bit knows that I was raised by my grandparents from 9 months to adulthood. My daddy still takes care of me to this day. He still is in my life every single day. He keeps my kids for me when I'm working. So those are my parents, you know. My grandparents are my parents, but I've always had my biological parents in my life in one way or another. And so when I say biological, I mean the woman who birthed me. In 2019, she was diagnosed with diabetes. She was pre-diabetic for a long time. But then probably I would say maybe May of 2019, she was diagnosed with diabetes, full-blown type 2 diabetes. And you know, she suffered from hypertension, high blood pressure, like all those things, all the things, right? And she just wouldn't make the adjustments that were necessary to live a more healthy and productive life, right? And even though we would tell her like, Mom, you got to do better, you got to do this, you got to do that, you know, you spend 50 years of your life just doing whatever, and so it's hard to make that adjustment at the drop of a dime. And I understand that. And not to be too candid, but my mother struggled with addiction, and so it's hard to make those type of adjustments and changes. And so in June of 2019, my mother died. Diabetic ketoacidosis was the cause of her death. Now, mind you, she had just been diagnosed with diabetes maybe a month prior. And for me, that was a huge like wake-up call, because I was completely healthy. And when I say healthy, I mean I didn't have any comorbidities or anything. I think that's how you say it. I didn't have any issues. I was, for the most part, healthy. Like my blood work was fine. All of my levels and things were fine. I didn't have high blood pressure. I wasn't pre-diabetic. I didn't have any of those issues. But I also knew that being that heavy for so long, that it was kind of an inevitable, you know, outcome. And I wanted to get ahead of it. I wanted to get a tool to help me not get to that point. And if I'm quite honest, I honestly didn't even realize how big I had gotten, because I was looking at myself every single day. And not that I had gotten like huge, like way bigger than I'd ever been, but I just didn't realize like how much weight that I had put on, or how big I actually was, until I started, you know, recently looking back at photos or old videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was really big. Like, why didn't anybody tell me that? And you know, that's a weird question, because how would they tell you, and in what way could they tell you that you wouldn't be extra offended? You know what I'm saying? But it's just a reflection thing. You look at it and you're like, girl, you are really big, you know? And I hate when people say, you're so beautiful, why do you feel like you need to lose weight? I never said I was ugly. She's never been ugly. But I was big, and it was getting to a point that my back was hurting, my knees were hurting, I couldn't move the way I wanted to. Like I said, I couldn't keep up with my very active young children. My youngest baby is 2, my other son is 3, my oldest son is 9. I have very active children, and I just couldn't keep up. My husband, he's very active. I couldn't keep up, and I wanted to be around for my family. I didn't want to leave my kids. I didn't want to leave my husband behind, because I was just not having the best habits. And so with that being said, I had gastric bypass, and like I said, it was the best decision I've ever made in my life. At the beginning of my journey, because it is a journey, and we can again get into all of these particulars at a later time. I don't want this video to be super long, but I just wanted to share with you guys, because I know you guys are asking. I know you'll have more questions, but I just, you know, the journey started, I started not too long after my mom passed away, actually, because I was like, nope, I can't do it. So maybe August, I started looking into where I was going to get the procedure, how I was going to get the procedure, how I was going to pay for it, all those things. And so that's when my journey started. One thing that I appreciate about the journey of losing weight this way is that there is a whole process. Like, I could have very easily gone to like Mexico or somewhere and had like gastric sleeve done and been done with it. But this wasn't a cosmetic procedure for me. I needed this to be a lifestyle change. I needed to be walked through the process. I've shared with you that my mother struggled with addiction. I too have a very addictive personality. You can see it in my shopping. You can see it in my you know, videos, the things that I buy. Like, I have multiples of certain things. So, you know, I needed to get behind the psychology of it all, and they walk you through that process. I had a therapist, I had a nutritionist. They give you all the tools to be successful, not just for the immediate after, but for a years to come, right? And so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my tool, and I'm not saying I'm perfect and I don't get it all right all the time, but I'm learning to make the adjustments and live in a way that best suits me and my family, and I'm here for it, and I couldn't be happier. So that is what happened, guys. I had gastric bypass at the beginning of my journey. I was 285 pounds. That's nearly 300 pounds, y'all. And people don't realize that I was that big, again, because I had a muscular stature. But yeah, I was pushing 300, 285 pounds when I began the journey. I lost 10 pounds from my pre-surgery diet. So when I had surgery, I was at 275. And now I am at 184, I think, when I got on the scale today. So I've lost about 100 pounds. It's been a year exactly, and I've lost about 100 pounds from my journey's start. And people always ask me, like, how much more weight do you want to lose? My goal initially was to lose 100 pounds just to be better, to feel better, to look better, for my clothes to look better on me. And I am great with where I am now. My body feels good. I feel like it looks good. I'm amazed at my transformation. I work out often, and so I can see the changes in my body, and I love them. My desire is not to get too much smaller than I am now, because I like this body. I like being, I'm still thick. I'm still considered plus size. So I love that. But I feel great, and that's what's most important. And, you know, whenever my body wants to stop losing weight is when it will stop. I am kind of at a plateau. Like, I haven't lost a huge amount of weight in a while. So I think that right now my body is kind of like at its comfortable place, and I'm good with that. So I'm good where I am. But yeah, that's what happened, guys. A lot of other things transpired throughout that year. So it's not just because of the surgery that I was out, because honestly, right after my surgery, I filmed a video for you guys. That cabbage video was right after my surgery. So I was up and doing things and moving, but with a pandemic, small children, being married, moving, changing locations for our church, my in-laws, my mother-in-law got sick really bad with COVID, and it affected her physically. And so we had a lot of transitions that were going on, which is why I was absent. Not because of my surgery, and not because I wanted to come back and do some grand reveal. That was not the goal or the intent at all. That's just kind of how it happened. So but I appreciate you guys for staying with me, encouraging me to keep coming back and loving on me and my family, and giving me and offering me your support. It means the world to me. I am going to try to be so much more consistent with you guys. If you have any questions or want to know anything, comment down below. I'll be happy to do another video. I'll do videos on my what I eat in a day, maybe, or some of my favorite products that help me with my journey, things like that. If you're interested, let me know. If you want me to go more in detail about my procedure and all of that, what it looked like, the recovery and all that, let me know. I'd be happy to help and share with you on those things. But yeah, that's it. I've got the support of my kids, my husband, my family, and I just didn't tell people because I didn't want the naysayers. I didn't want the negativity. I wanted to go into it with a positive outlook, and that worked really well for me. So, but I am an open book. If you have questions, you know, I'm here to, I'm happy to answer them for you. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me. It's to celebrate 1 year down, a lifetime to go. The changes are 100% worth it. I'm 100% happy with my decision. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys next time. I love you. Bye.